What if the unicorn myth was based on a real animal? This is what scientists thought the Siberian unicorn looked like, and its discovery has quite a story. In 1807, a strange fossil arrived at Moscow University. It came from the collection of a princess. And at first, what was found did not look like much. A piece of lower jaw, 4 molars, and the root of another tooth. 1 year later, a scientist studied it. And from that small piece of bone, he gave the animal a name. And the name came from its teeth. Elasmotherium means something close to plate beast, because its molars were folded, almost like tiny plates inside the jaw. He thought the animal was some kind of pachyderm, something close to elephants. Some scientists disagreed. They thought maybe it was a missing link between a rhino and a horse. Some even said the creature could have lived in water. And honestly, the confusion makes sense. They were working with almost nothing, but 70 years later, a whole skull of that same species was found. And everything changed. In 1877, a naturalist studied the skull and published the first complete description of Elasmotherium. And suddenly, the idea of the creature became much clearer. The horse part started to disappear. The elephant part, too. What was left was definitely some sort of rhinoceros. But it was not a normal rhino. It was one of the largest rhinos that ever lived. Over 2 meters at the shoulder, almost 5 meters long. Several tons of muscle and bone. But it was not just big. Its legs were longer than a regular rhino. Its neck was massive. And right in the middle of its skull, there was a huge dome of bone. Exactly where you would expect a horn to be. Rhino horns are not made of bone. They are made of keratin, the same material as hair and nails. So if an ancient horn rotted away, the skull could still keep the mark where it used to be. And this skull had a very big mark. So the artists working on the first reconstructions gave the animal what seemed obvious: a horn, a very big one. From the outside, the horn looked pretty good. But there was a problem. The dome beneath it was almost hollow, and the dome walls were thin, too thin to hold a giant horn without breaking. And there was another problem. The dome didn't have the pattern we usually see under rhino horns. So fast forward to 2021, when scientists decided to look at the skull again, and the Siberian unicorn changed one last time. The giant horn was finally removed. The huge spike people had drawn for more than a century was probably never there. Instead, we understood that the dome was probably covered by a hard layer of keratin, like a thick shield over the skull. And the dome may have had another role. It was connected to the nasal cavity, so it may have helped the animal smell better. Maybe it even made its calls deeper. And at the very end of its face, there was probably a smaller cornified pad for digging, because Elasmotherium was built to keep its head low, and its face was shaped for the ground. It probably scraped soil, pulled at roots, and searched for underground parts of plants. So after almost 200 years, the Siberian unicorn finally lost its horn, at least for now.